This one's Wolfgang. Roscoe ran off. You're just a bit nuts, aren't you? You just run around.
Oh, they're either kissing or biting.
They do that. It's like their mouthy play. Okay.
Welcome to DisabiliTEA, a special edition of the Finding Avalon podcast. I'm Jenna, a disabled advocate and creator from Atlanta, Canada. And because 1 in 4 Canadians live with disability, chronic illness, and neurodivergence, we need to get comfortable talking about it and taking action. So, settle in as we spill the tea on all things disability. This time around, I have Clarke joining me from across the pond in England. Ro is an autistic ADHDer who lives with OCD, complex PTSD, general anxiety disorder, chronic pain, and mild scoliosis. She's an advocate and content creator who shares her lived experience as a survivor who once used alcohol and drugs to cope with trauma and years of unrealized autistic distress. Ro is passionate about raising awareness around autism, ADHD, and mental health. She shares authentically and often quite vulnerably about her life with disability, and this has drawn a large following of people who she helps feel seen in the process. Animal welfare matters a great deal to Ro. She and her partner both love animals and have a number of pets who are central to their family life and who have been quite crucial to supporting her health and well-being. And with that, it's time to spill some disability. So, Ro, what did you bring for tea today?
Today I have a 3 mint tea. That's the only tea that I drink. I don't drink any other tea. Just my mint tea, and you probably like the smell of it. It's very tired.
So sweet. Well, I'm drinking from this really cute and whimsical handmade mug, and it's from today's episode sponsor, Marmalade Boutique. They have this beautifully curated shop in a gorgeous place called St. Andrews by the Sea in New Brunswick. And they call it the Cat and Garden Vine stoneware mug. And it's made by an artist called Linko, and they're based in Prince Edward Island. And so with your love for cats and your future plan to one day explore PEI, I thought this would be a perfect match for our episode.
It's a lovely mug. I love that little cat, and mine is obviously a cat as well.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Matching cat.
Inside is their original house tea blend called the Marmalade Blend. And it's created in collaboration with another woman-owned business, Garden by the Sea. And this is an organic black tea that has warm chai spices and a little kick of lemongrass. And Ro, if you had to choose between the mug or the tea, which one would you choose?
Definitely the mug.
Well, your wish is my command, and it's thanks to Marmalade Boutique who have provided another one of these mugs for you as a thank you.
Lovely. That's very nice. Even more cat mugs. I have a cat mug collection. Like, seriously, I've got like 20 and I keep adding to them and I can't stop. So this is perfect.
I will enable your
Yes,
cat
please
mug
do.
addiction. You're very welcome, and thank you to the wonderful ladies at Marmalade Boutique in New Brunswick. Sometimes real change starts with a conversation just like this, over a hot drink in a comfortable environment. So, Ro, what disability-related topic would you like to spill the tea about?
So today I thought I would just talk about how much my pets help me with my disabilities and with my mental health, and just how fundamentally important they are to me in everything I do.
Yeah, so can you tell me who's in your household? Who do you have there? What kinds of creatures?
Many creatures. I have 14 pets. So I've got my 2 ferrets. This is Wolfgang. I've got Sushi the cat, who's just over on a chair over there, and then 3 other cats, Cindy, Otis, and Clyde. And then I've got 4 snakes, 2 leopard geckos, and 2 frogs. They've got their own room that they're in. It's like a climate-controlled room for them that they all live in there.
You've made a household habitat for them.
Yeah, and the ferrets have their own room as well. So 2 rooms of the house are purely animal rooms. We don't have a spare bedroom in this house.
Well, you do, but it's
But for
spared
you,
for the animals.
exactly, it's your bedroom.
Oh my goodness. And who's been with you the longest?
Um, I would say Hermione, who's one of my snakes. I've had her since 2016, and she was 4 when I adopted her. So yeah, she's 14. And then one of my other geckos, she's about 12 now, and she's the second oldest. And then yeah, they get younger and younger. And then these are the babies. They're a year old in June. Nearly your birthday, isn't it?
Yes. And for everyone watching, a lot of people don't realize that pets can get sick from humans as well, and so um, poor Wolfgang there is getting over the human flu, is that right?
Right, my partner caught the flu, um, and unfortunately gave it to Wolfgang, so had to take him to the vets. He had a chest infection and he's been on antibiotics. And the cutest thing is that he's given antibiotics that are made for babies because they don't have ferret approved antibiotics. So it's for babies and it's banana flavored and he hates it.
It's like a liquid syringe or a
hmm
dropper.
Yeah, it's a little syringe. And you don't like it, do you? So we have to mix it up with salmon oil and various tasty
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, baby banana flavor probably doesn't do it for him.
No, not quite the carnivorous diet.
Yeah. As an ADHDer as well, I've always felt this really powerful connection to animals, wildlife, pets, stray animals, any animals that cross my path, like just so deeply connected to them. And I wanted to hear a little bit about what your experience has been that you can remember from being a young, undiscovered ADHD kid.
hmm Yeah, so I grew up with animals, luckily. I always had pets ever since I was, well, before I was born, there were pets in the family. So I was born into a family who had dogs and cats and guinea pigs and all of these cute little animals. And I was just best friends with them. They were just my best friends. I hung out with them all day when I wasn't in school. They were what I was excited to go home and see, and I just always wanted to be around the dog, and the rabbit as well. We had rabbits, and yeah, I just spent all my time just in the garden in summer, just hanging out with the dogs and the cats, and they just brought me so much more peace, and I felt like I understood them and they understood me, which when you're going to school and you don't know that you're ADHD or all of these other things that I was struggling with from a really young age, it was hard to be around people all day. So to be able to come home and connect with these animals that were my true best friends was a real solace for me.
Hmm. Yeah, that sums up my childhood with animals too. Yeah, they when you talk about unconditional love, animals really do. They don't judge you at all. They don't judge you. Um, they have needs, but they don't demand anything of you other than love and food and your company. Like your company is more than enough, and that takes a lot of the cognitive and emotional load off when you're interacting. You can just show up as you are, right?
hmm Yeah, definitely. There's no masking with animals, and you can just be your complete self, and they don't know what you're saying. All they can vibe off is your energy, really. And if you're a nice person and if you treat them kindly, that's
Yeah.
you're going to be rewarded for that with their love as well. So yeah, and you're just lovely to be around, aren't you?
So sweet. Do you find that any of your animals in particular are ones that really detect your emotional state or your mood, or if you're stressed, are there some that will seek you out and comfort you? Like, who are the ones that baby you?
Definitely Cindy, who's literally just walked in the room. I don't know if she's going to come up here.
Cindy, come up.
Yeah, she's probably not going to come all the way up.
There she
And
is. I
she's like,
see
no,
some of
get
her.
me away.
She actually just pushed off of you like, "Nope."
Going back to that ferret.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Cindy. Cindy was my first cat that I got as an adult in this relationship with my partner. So we've had Cindy for 6 years now. And yeah, she was the first kitty cat that we got, weren't you? And I've actually got a tattoo of her that says, I don't know if you'll be able to see, that's her. I can't contort my
Is the
arm too much.
guardian or
The
the
protector.
the protector?
Yeah, because when I got her, I was at still quite a low point in my life, and struggling quite a lot mentally. And really, she's the only thing that stopped me from going back into a really dark place, because I had her and she needed me and she needed me to show up for her. And every time I cry, even now, she comes up to me and she sort of paws me and she makes like a soft meow, and I don't know how she knows, but she just does. And yeah, she comes and she just like curls up here and she licks me, and she's just very attentive. So even if I want to be in my feels and I'm like, no, I'm just so sad, she's
Yeah.
like, stop it. And so I
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I have a choice, because she just comes and she brings me out a bit regardless of
Yeah.
anything else.
She's really bonded to you, obviously. And the thing is that for me at least, and possibly for you and for others who are watching, our pets give us a needed routine. No matter like if I have chronic illness and pain and all these other things. Sometimes it's harder to have the motivation to do the things I need to do for myself, but I prioritize what my pets need, and that also gives me energy, it gives me happiness, and then it gives me enough momentum that I can then turn that care to myself as well, right? They come first. Let's be real, they come first. Um, to the point that now when I'm feeding them in the mornings or giving them their supplements or whatever it is, I now put my medicine next to their prep tray because I often would forget. I would forget about me in the equation because when your mind is too full, when you're in autistic burnout, when you're in a lot of pain, whatever it is, whatever is happening, it is easier to just kind of forget yourself. And so now I give them their food or medicine or whatever it is they need. And I see, all right, and me too, because I need to take care of me to take care of them. Can you tell me a little bit about their care and the motivation that their care brings and your love for them?
Yeah. So we have a very strict routine. My whole household runs on a strict routine around them, because I have so many. They're very needy in that way. So I don't have a choice of staying in bed, even if I'm having a really bad day. I just don't have a choice. Which it can be hard, but it can also be really helpful. Like the other day, I had quite a bad meltdown for a really long time, and I was absolutely exhausted. But come the morning, I still woke up and they were all staring at me saying, "We want our food now." And they give me some love usually when I wake up first. They come and sit next to me, the cats, and they purr and have a stroke and a cuddle. But then I just have to get up and I have to do it. And they also have medicines and they have supplements, and I can't miss these things. They they know the time, so they keep me on a strict schedule. Even if I don't really have to get up until like a couple of hours later, they're like, absolutely not. You are getting up now, which is good for me because it helps to keep me regulated as well. I get thrown off really easily if any of my timings change. Like even if I'm told I don't need to get up for this time, it will really throw me off, because then I'll end up having breakfast like late, and then I'll be like, I don't know when to eat lunch, and then I don't know when to eat dinner, and all of
Mhm.
these things. And then my whole day is just like, it feels like I'm just like swimming through like, I don't know this.
Mhm.
So having them to enforce that strict routine is really beneficial to me. And I also do what you do. I put my supplements next to their food as well, so that when I go down, it's all there. And when I finish feeding them, it's time to feed me. And then, yeah, it just it just sort of flows in that way. And we've got such an established routine that it really just keeps my mind happier, and means that I have to do something. And
Hmm.
yeah, I have to get out of my head so that I can look after them. I can't stay in a sad pit, even even though I kind of want to sometimes. I just can't. No.
Yeah, it takes you outside of yourself to something greater than whatever moment you're in and what you're feeling. If I can't eat, I'll have a meal replacement drink. So sometimes I'll have those drinks also there in the same, like, the pet supply area. And, like you, I really need that routine, and I can get thrown off it so easily because a lot of people who aren't aware of the ADHD combination, the autism and ADHD, these are two conditions that are like, it's two different neurotypes, I guess, really, that are at odds with each other. The ADHD likes the novelty and the chaos and being spontaneous, and that's great. But it can be very chaotic when we need our routine, we need our reliability, we need to know what to expect, and that kind of like compass that keeps you fairly steady. Whereas the ADHD side is like side quest, side quest, side quests everywhere. Do you find that there's any parts of your ADHD that also lend itself well to pet care, maybe in the play category or the adventure category?
Yeah. So I think that because other than their routine, they can be sometimes unpredictable in their own moods and the things that they do and the things that they want. And I don't know, the things that they're going to break in my house today and things like that. It keeps me on my toes in that sense. And I think that having that sort of consistent novelty of like, what's the cat going to do today? Or what crazy thing is my ferret going to do that's going to make me want to tear my hair out? And I think a lot of people might see that as like a bad thing to have so many pets because there's such a handful. But for me, having that handful is just really important. Like a core need of mine is to have these things to care for, and to center my life around. And
Mhm.
yeah, we also love to go on adventures. Me and the ferrets go on little holidays and we go on little trips out and things like that, which is also really nice because I love to plan trips. So that really sets off my sort of novelty brain. I don't have a dog and I don't think I'd want to have a dog, but the ferrets are like tiny little dogs that don't bark. So it's nice to take them away instead. And it's really just lovely to see.
What would a day trip with the ferrets, what would that look like for people who have maybe never encountered ferrets on a day out?
So we get a lot of looks for sure. And a lot of people come up to us, which I found really jarring at first, but now I kind of expect it. So I'm not too worried about it. I've sort of developed a bit of a script for if people come up to me and
Yeah.
say, "Are those ferrets?" And then I can just sort of go off of my checklist. And everybody's always really nice and they're always really interested. And it's nice actually to have interactions that I know are going to be positive. Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody will take a problem with them one day, I don't know. But usually, if somebody comes up to me smiling and and wants to see them, then it's always going to be a positive interaction. But yeah, they've got a little backpack, so they love their backpack. They sleep in it as well. Just like in their room, they just really love it as like their safe space. And they've got little leads as well with harnesses. So yeah, when we go out, it's like, I mean, I don't have children, but it's what I imagine getting children ready to leave the house would be like. So I make sure they've eaten something, that they've gone to the toilet, and then I sort of call them over, they jump in their backpack, and then off we go. And I've just got them on my back and we walk around for a bit and I let them out and let them let them on the ground with their leads on, and they really love areas like beaches and forests and yeah, especially the woods. They really love the woods. They're not fans of like too big open spaces. They don't really like open fields because they feel a bit vulnerable. But places that they can sort of walk along like a hedgerow or the side of something and dig, they love to dig. So yeah, the beaches are a really good hit for them.
Mhm, and how do they react to strangers who wanna come up and pet them and see them?
No, they really love it. They
Yeah.
love everybody. Yeah, they try and if they see a person in the distance, they stop and they stare and then they try and take me to them. They're very, very sociable. It's like the opposite
Wow.
of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do they not know that mom would prefer not to have random
No,
stranger conversations?
like the most sociable pet for the most antisocial person. Yeah, they love strangers and they're kind of embarrassing because they love to climb up people's legs as well. So if people come close, I'm like, just be careful. They're going to run up your leg if you come within reaching distance, and
Yeah.
they're always fine with it. But it's a bit of an awkward introduction.
Yeah, my pets are running up both your legs right now. Nice to meet you. So I guess they can be a little bit of a buffer socially.
Yeah, and they're definitely something to focus. I don't have to look at the person who's even talking to me. I can just be looking at my ferret, like petting them. That helps me a lot. I mean, Wolfgang's gone now, but it's always helpful to have to have one just like there. So yeah, it's definitely makes things less awkward and a bit more comfortable when they're there and they're the ones that have the attention on them instead of me.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you for telling me about that. How do they help you, if they help you, with when you're feeling dysregulated, or in the UK, you folks say deregulated? Do they provide comfort? Do they provide distraction?
Yeah, so they definitely distract me because they often need something from me. So they distract me in the way that that they're very attention seeking sometimes. But they also distract me in the way that the fact that they're there makes me feel happier. They distract me from bad thoughts and, you know, even when I've had like my worst thoughts, I've thought, well, I can't do that because I've got my pets and they need me, so I can't go anywhere. And that's like I'm a pretty strong person now, but I've had moments where I've just felt so deregulated and overwhelmed that my mind does go to that darkest place, and without them being there, I don't know where I might have ended up. So they really distract me from those really bad thoughts. And then also just their presence is very soothing and calming, especially the cats. Not really the ferrets. They're not really calming in any way, shape, or form. Um, but the cats are very very calming. If I'm upstairs in the bed, which I spend quite a lot of time in my bedroom and in bed lying down because I'm exhausted. Um, Cats are usually all around me. I've usually at least got 2 cats with me. And it's usually Cindy, who she's up on her cat tree at the moment, but she's usually right next to me. And usually Sushi will be at the end of the bed as well. So I've always got them, and if I'm feeling just really really sad and I just need a hug, I just sort of get myself up and just bury my face in Cindy's fur, and she's receptive to that. Like she likes that. She likes a kiss on the head and things like that. So it's really nice to have that affection and for it to be reciprocated. She enjoys that too. Yeah, like I said before, like me and Cindy have like a really special bond. She's like my soul cat. And she sleeps like under my head on my pillow. When it's bedtime, she knows as soon as I turn the light off, even if I don't see her wherever she is, she jumps up and she comes and she curls onto my pillow, and then I just put my head on her bum, and and that's how
Yeah.
we sleep. And yeah, she's just always there. She's staring at me as if she hates me right now, but she loves me really. Um, so yeah, they
The
really
the
do have
cat judgment look.
yeah. Yeah, they help me in so many ways, and just knowing that they're there, um,
Hmm.
it's just reason for me to carry on and have purpose. And yeah, they need me, and I need them. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey?
She's giving you a bath is what she's doing.
I obviously stayed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, nothing like a bit of tuna face wash.
Yeah, smells lovely. What are you doing, Rudolph? Are you gonna sit down there, or okay, you're gonna leave?
Yeah.
She was sitting there as if I was like holding her hostage. She's got
Yeah.
my arms.
Yeah, yeah. So before we go, what can people do right now to take action for disability inclusion?
So coming from me as an autistic ADHDer who loves to just be at home with her pets and needs that time to themselves, I would just ask that people give people space um, to recover and to rest, and to understand that just because we need time by ourselves, it doesn't mean that we're selfish or rude or unkind. I've had so many people in my life be offended by the fact that I can't see them really often, or that I don't want to go and do this thing with them. And it's not that I don't like them, it's just that it's exhausting. Seeing people in person for me really, really tires me out. I don't do it that often because I mask, even if they're my loved ones, family members. I'm still unlearning that. I mean, I was only diagnosed last year, so I'm still very much in the early stages of
Yeah.
learning myself. So it is really exhausting to be out in the world, and even if you're not meeting up with anybody, just going to the shop or going to work or even just like driving exhausts me. So yeah, I would just ask that people understand and respect the need for time alone and recovery, and there's less judgment in that. I've got family members who do struggle with me not being too receptive to meeting up. I think they just feel a little bit rejected, and I obviously understand the feelings of rejection, but there's only so much that I can do. There's only so much socializing and speaking, being around people that I can take, and my limit for that is really quite low. It doesn't fill my cup. It just drains me, and regardless of how much I love you, it's always going to be that way. So yeah, just having that space and time just to be completely alone and with my pets. Not completely alone, but with them to help
And,
read
and
me. Yeah, I've had many occasions that I've already been just completely exhausted, and then I've had to go and do this thing, and I just think, "Well, I don't want to, like, I would rather do anything but this thing right now." And then I still there.
yeah.
And I've literally said to my partner before, I've been like, "I would rather break my leg than go and do this thing."
Yeah, and but
I
that's
need
so
an excuse.
real.
I need an excuse to not do this, and you often can't just say to people, "I just don't want to
Yeah.
come," because
Yeah.
they'll be upset.
Hurt or offended, or
Yeah,
it could cause a bigger problem, and then that's another stress and strain for you to bear. It's just
yeah,
too much of a load, right?
it is. Yeah, and I'm sure if I did break my leg, I would think, actually, I'd rather I didn't break my leg. I should
Yeah.
social event.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like, God, I just need anything to get out of this because it's just too much, and then have fun.
You know what I just realized? This looks like your eye.
It actually kind of does. It's got the same almond shape. Eh,
The same shape,
Yeah,
same kind of color tone. I was like, "Oh, wait, is this Rose eye?"
yeah. It was a preemptive
Yeah.
clothing choice.
Mhm. Can you tell me before we wrap up, do you have any good news? Anything like a call to action for people who are watching or listening?
Yeah. So I can think of one good piece of news that ties in with my Instagram account as well. So my Instagram account and my TikTok is Tism and Cats. And if you follow me on there, you'll see that I am currently fundraising for a breast reduction. And yesterday I had a psychiatrist's evaluation to test for mental capacity, and I got the all clear. So that means that I can go ahead and actually secure a date for the surgery. I was really, really nervous about that appointment, so I'm so relieved that that has gone well, and I can just think to the next steps now as a big barrier that's been removed. So I'm hoping next week I can chat to the surgeons and hopefully get a plan in place for the reduction, which I've wanted for like 18 years of my life. So it's been a really long time coming.
For people who don't quite understand, like gender affirming surgeries and sensory affirming surgeries, people don't realize the body dysmorphia, the distress, the sensory distress. And a lot of people don't understand that and don't realize. Obviously, when you're going to get a big surgery like that, you needed to get the all clear to say that I'm in my right mind. Yes, this is what I truly want. When you're having the fundraiser, what do you tell people? How do you explain to them, this is why I'm having a breast reduction?
Mm. So for me, it's largely a sensory issue. Just the fact that my boobs exist on my chest is so overwhelming, from a sensory perspective. They are always there. I can always feel them. I can always feel them touching other places of my body that I don't want them to. Like it's just so like awful, and especially in summer as well. And it's just so uncomfortable. And if you've got, well, anybody can wear a bra, obviously, but usually people with larger boobs tend to need more support. Um, but because I find bras so ridiculously uncomfortable, I also can't wear bras. So I
Yeah,
just end up wearing.
sensory nightmare, so restrictive.
There's no winning. So I just end up wearing like the baggiest clothes to cover myself, and then I don't feel very good about myself because I'm like hiding. And yeah, my boobs just cause me so much physical and just mental distress, and I would just love to leave the house without thinking about them. Like every outfit that I wear is dictated by them. A lot of meltdowns that I have are because I try on 50 different, well, I don't have 50 t-shirts, but 10 different
Yeah.
t-shirts, and I can't find the one that works well enough, and then I put on the same hoodie that I've worn for like 10 days straight because that's just the only thing that's gonna cut it, and then I just feel like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's been a problem for well, since I can remember, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. And how does it feel now that you've got a fundraiser, people are donating. If anyone watching this is in a position to donate anything, if you feel like it, I really recommend it. I know I will as well. But like, people are supporting it, which is wonderful. How does that feel?
It's a weird mix of emotions because it's something I've wanted for a really long time, but I've never had the means to even really think about doing it. I've never been in a position before where I could say, I will just spend 1.5 grand, because that's how much it's cost me to even get to this stage, for a potential surgery that I won't end up having. Because what if I failed the psychiatrist evaluation? What if I failed the pre-ops? Like I don't have the money for that. So the people that have been able to donate are the only reason that I've been able to actually do that. I'm still sort of wrapping my mind around the idea that it can actually happen. It's like just a crazy thought that it's something that I've like longed for so long, and now it might actually be within reach. I mean, I was like 14 when I first
Yeah.
started
Okay.
like wanting a reduction, and 14 was when I was like, this is a bit much now. um
Yeah.
yeah, so it's yeah, my whole life as I remember it, really.
Yeah.
But I just think about the end goal, and I don't even think about how they're gonna look. I just think about the fact that I will just be comfortable. um
Yeah.
that is the goal, just to leave
Yeah.
the bloody house without wanting
Well,
to cry.
yeah. One less sensory hell, one less layer of sensory hell to worry about.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences so openly and so authentically and describing what a lifeline that our pets can be. It's so relatable.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me, and it's been nice to finally get to chat face to face. Yeah.
Well, here's to spilling the disability.
Okay. I'm mad.